In the next several videos, we're going to cover how to use events to make this lava and water interactive. The player steps in this lava will create some fire effects, which the player can then put out by jumping in this water. To get started, we're first going to make parts to represent the areas where the player will either get put on fire or have their fire put out. So I'm going to take these parts, quickly get them to the size I want with the scale tool. And then I'm going to make sure they're both anchored so they don't move around. And the properties, I'm going to set can collide to false so the player can't walk on them. And I'm also going to make them translucent just so I can see through them so they're not kind of interrupting the environment. I'm also going to rename them just so I can keep my Explorer organized over here. Now we'll add a script inside this fire part. Inside the script, we need to do two things. We need to create a function to light a part on fire. We also need to connect this function to the event that fires when something hits this part. So let's start with the function. I'm going to call this function light on fire. And as a parameter, I'm going to include a variable called part. This will indicate which part we want to light on fire. Inside the function, we need to create a fire effect and store it in a variable. So I'm going to make a variable by typing local fire equals instance.new fire. Next, I'm going to set the parent of fire to the part we passed in. This will put the fire effect in the part, and that will make it follow the part around if the part moves around. Now we need to connect this function to an event. Before, when we worked with functions, we simply typed the function name and passed in parameters, and that made the code run. And in this case, we don't know what hits this fire part beforehand, so we need to use an event, specifically the touched event. Let's take a look at how to do this. First, we'll make sure we have a variable for the part that the script is inside of. I'm just going to call it fire part. After we declare the function, I'm going to type fire part dot touched colon connect, and inside the parentheses I'm going to type our function name light on fire. It's very important, make sure you don't include open and close parentheses after the function name, because when you include the parentheses, that means you want to run the function. In this case, we don't want to run the function right now. Instead, we're just letting the touched event know what function we want it to call when it fires. So when we run our game now, we can see that running over this fire part does indeed light our character on fire. In the next video, we'll use another touched event to put these fires out.